Hi everyone, it's been like a year since I actually did a proper update. I've been through quite a lot of things in this last year. One of the ways that I put it is I essentially was homeless at one point, and I basically went from being homeless to being the sole tester for the best verifier for arguably the most important programming language on the planet. So that was pretty interesting. That was a two-time internship, so it was like 6 months. Now I'm in a different part of the country. I'm not going to tell you guys exactly where I am right now, but maybe later on. So I've recorded a few videos actually about the things that I was doing, and kind of kept them unlisted so nobody really got a chance to see it. So I think I'm going to release those and kind of talk about it, and also append some of my iPhone videos that I took kind of along the way, and kind of share a little bit of a here, there journal, if you would call it that. I didn't keep a video journal like every day, but I kind of said hi here and there, and when you put it all together, it might be like a pretty long segment of time. So I did end up finding some people that I might be able to work together with to get some cool things done. And things are going okay, I guess. I don't know. But yeah, you're probably like, what is this long hallway that you're inside of? What is going on here? Why are there so many trees, and what's up with all the woods and everything? But that's for another day, another story. Got to keep things mysterious. Anyway, I really am glad that I have some people. I'd rather have a few people that follow me who are very interested than a whole bunch of people that just kind of see something once and then they don't care. Like, I like that more. So, thanks for following and for keeping updated with me, and I will talk to you guys later. And here's a treat. I will give you kind of a little rundown, a little summary of what's been going on for the last year. So enjoy. Okay, so last year when I posted my subscriber update, I was working construction in Indiana when my sister gave birth to another niece. I spent some time with her family, but I needed to get some real income and real work experience in my field.
Why are you famous? Stop
God is Jesus.
Alright, ready? Ready? I'm gonna turn it off. Ready? Say bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
This is what they do to me. They torture me. I have human shoes. What are you saying? Oh, like, tell them to stop.
I returned to Champaign, where I had a few places to stay, one of which was my car. Of course, I eventually did get a job and keep sending Facebook proxies to old high school friends. And I attempted to take a language language classes to finish my degree.
Oh, but it didn't do anything. That's my video. With this.
Hey, how do you say these words, Matt? How do you say these?
Die.
Die Sonia. Der Mund.
Da munde.
De die ere. Die ere.
Dere.
Die Sonnenfirsnis.
Of course, I was still in extreme debt, but was determined to get a job doing formal verification. One company I tried to apply to was called Veriflow. By a few consecutive miracles, meeting someone in Starbucks and then going to a computer science meeting where I joined a vital chat room, I found and tried to join a company which I originally didn't even know existed. But it would be a while before I actually started working.
It's like it could be like a tower, but it's like really tall. It's like way up in the air.
These rotting rats are from cleaning out a rug at my mom's place. I got to visit her. As you can see, she would react a lot to some online messages. I'm glad I took some time there because the weeks before that were rough. I slept in the back of an old beaten up Crown Victoria and even showered naked outside in a storm out in the middle of cornfields. Luckily, I got the job I needed and a nice SUV from a friend to sleep in after that. I'm still paying him back for it to this day.
Hey everyone, it's Sunday, October 22nd, 2017. I don't know when I'm going to post this video online. It might be a while or it might be soon. I'm not really sure. It's whenever I feel comfortable to do it, because I don't know if it's kind of something that I want to share, but then don't really want to share too much. But this is my life right now. I'm inside a car, inside an SUV. It's a new car that I got, and there's a lot of space in here. In fact, I have like some electronic stuff right here. I got some hanging stuff right here. I got like a bed here. There's a driver's side, and I have some like food and stuff in the passenger seat area. So I'm living kind of, or I'm going to be living. I haven't done it yet. I haven't actually slept in here. Tonight is probably going to be the first night that I sleep in here, and it's hopefully going to be comfortable. Hopefully I don't bother anyone, like park anywhere weird where people are like, why are you, police, So I don't really want, that's kind of why I don't want to like post this right away, is because I'm not sure what people will think. Like, I'm really, I'm doing this because of the job that I want to get, and I'm financially, just kind of from being in school, I'm in debt, and I have like, just too restrictive of finances right now. It's just it's crazy, but it's also crazy awesome that I have this job, and I'm really gonna just put my heart into it. So I've gone through all this junk. As you can see over there, I have so much stuff. Look at that, 2 unicycles, I have a bicycle, I have a whole bunch of junk, and behind that, like that huge like pile, and by the way, I only laid out that blanket right there because it was like, it got wet, and now I'm just letting it dry. There's even more junk behind that. Those bookshelves I made when I was in Japan. You might remember, if you go back and watch my videos from like 4 or 5 years ago, like 5-6 years ago, 2000, like, I don't know, 10 or 11 or something, you'll see those bookshelves in those videos. My phone is gonna die, but I did go through my electronics a little bit, and I have a charger that I can use in this car. This SUV is awesome. My friend sold it to me, and he said I don't have to like give him all the money like right off the bat. I can just pay him when I get the money. And I'm trying to sell my other car now, which was a cool Crown Victoria kind of police interceptor car, but it looks like trash on the outside. But I went through all this old paperwork all the way from like 2012 on, and I realized that I put like $6,000 into that car, and now I'm just trying to sell it for like $1,000 or something. Like, I fixed that car so much. It just goes to show, like, you know, it's tough sometimes. Most of my problems could have been, would not have happened if I didn't buy, silver back in 2010 before the price went down. I listened to some guy saying, like, you should buy silver, and he was kind of right. Like, if the economy did go through what I still think, like, it's going to happen. Certain things will happen. Like, people knew that, for example, like, the housing market was gonna crash and stuff, because they understood, like, oh, everyone's just basing, so it's kind of like that sort of thing. You don't know exactly how things will happen, and that's true. That is even what the Bible says. Don't, put all your eggs in one basket, because you don't know what's going to happen. Like, I think it literally says like that, and like, not literally, but it says, don't invest all into one thing, because you don't know what's going to happen in the world, I guess. So I'm here, and there's all my stuff, and there's a lot of stuff, and there's books and stuff like that. I have like math books that I bought from the military. Not from the military, but when I was in the military, I had ordered them, and then they got shipped to Japan, and I would, like, just some random math books and stuff, like textbooks. And of course I actually went and became, like, technically I became a math major. I could show you guys. This storage facility is actually really cool. Like, it's so cool. Like, it is really cool. I will show you guys really quick. This is how big it is. It's huge, and guess how much it costs? It's only $40 a month. Like, that's it. Look, here's the back seat of my car. Here's just some more junk, I guess. It's just junk. Not really junk, but and I went to my mom's house and found some old stuff. Looks like I got some old. Looks like I never really set this up. It's like a old U.S. Army kind of. Can you see that? It's like a thing to put. I have coins that I got when I was in the military, and yeah. So I kind of separated out some of my stuff. My mom was like, "Oh, make sure you take a coat," and I have like so many warm clothes. In fact, I'm gonna just take some of them and just put them in the storage facility, because I have like 2 or 3 coats over there already, and then that'll be enough. Although I do need to make sure I have pants, I think, and yeah. So that's what's going on. I love this SUV because I can lay out flat, which I couldn't do in my other car. I was sleeping in my other car, and it was like cramped. My knees were bent, and it was like ugh. And I also, like, my clothes were like the shape of a Crown Vic. Like, it does have a lot of space, but not to like sleep in. The shape of it was like too small, and there wasn't really a hook, and so like my clothes, like, I would get them dry cleaned, and then they would get all wrinkled, and there was just a pile of junk. I should show you guys a picture of, like, I literally had stuff in my passenger seat. It was so frustrating. Like, psychologically, it's tough being like, I'm technically homeless right now, but psychologically, it's just frustrating to deal with. Like I had to like get a laugh out of it, because I had all my like toiletry stuff in the front, and then I put like a box of something. I needed to put like a box in the passenger seat, and then I come back later, and all my shaving cream or shaving gel, like, squirted, just a whole pile of it, just like squirted onto the seat and all over the place, like onto my clothes and everything. It was so just, and I didn't get too mad. Like, I was just like, this keeps happening, like little stuff here and there, but I didn't have the money to like take care of it, and I was like, ugh. So like, having a job that I really need, and it's really a blessing, because I was, I started applying to different levels of jobs. I'm like, okay, I want to do something like, in my research area, for one. Another thing is, well, I could just do software engineering-ish. And even though it's not something that would be researchy, maybe I can just make a lot of money doing that. And I visited the Computer Science Center again, and some student was actually telling me that. That's where I got that idea. But I should do, ideally I should do what I want to do research level and make that my source of income. So, and it is true that I would make enough income. It would be enough income if I did the research stuff, even though I need a lot of money right now, just for debts and stuff. It's, I'm going through it, and it's, being a student and all that is just, I was getting my degree over a year ago, and then I was gone. I didn't do anything academic wise for about a year, because I voluntarily went and did something totally unrelated to my field, and it wasn't even for work either. Like, during that time, I worked at a warehouse, which they had a peak season during that time, so I actually made a lot of money. Thank God. Like, I made enough money to pay off one of my, it was like a higher interest rate credit card, and I don't like credit cards. I don't believe in them. That's why I joined the military, actually, was so that I wouldn't have to pay for school when I went through, but I still did, because even though I saved up that money, I bought silver, and then I wasn't able to use it, so I ended up kind of taking out loans anyway, because I was I favored the psychological idea of, well, I want people to know now that silver price is low, they should buy it. And so if I were to, have said I just lost money on it, they wouldn't believe me or something, I don't know. Which, when I did buy it, it was high, that's not a good idea. So, anyway, I am rambling, but I am excited because tomorrow morning, I start my job, and this is basically where I'm gonna be. Like, this is where I'm gonna be living, and this is huge compared to where I was before in my Crown Victoria. The windows weren't as dark, so like I felt weird, because like police would come around and I'd be like, are they watching me? Are they like suspicious or something? Are they gonna kick me out? Like, it's kind of, I'm not even worried about like robbers. I'm more worried about, like, it's kind of weird being homeless, like, or trying to like survive out places sometimes, because you don't feel that secure, I would say, because it's already like, you're already in a situation where you don't have a lot, and you're like struggling financially, and you're not sure like what you're gonna do to like get income and stuff, and it's scary. And it actually, I don't know what would have happened. But I did go back to this old, this church that I had went to like back in like 2012 or something. And there was a couple people there, and they were, interested in my situation and I felt like they wanted to, like, they were curious and like wanted to help me or something. So I was just like, maybe, I don't know what would have happened, but I'm sure, sometimes you can find people that, you can depend on, because sometimes people who are your friends, or you think that they're your good friends, sometimes they can't be there for you as much as you'd want them to, and sometimes it's just different, depending on the situation. And it depends what city you're in. Like the city that I'm in, it's like a college town, and I think like 2 years ago there was a veterans shelter that was running for like years, and then they shut it down. So it's kind of like, and then there's a lot of like people who moved down from Chicago. So like the city is kind of got this weird mix of like, it's like low income, and then that mixed with my situation. I was getting some benefits from the military for school, but then they were low because they were based on the housing prices. But then you kind of, if you think about it, you really get what you pay for. Like, yeah, like housing might be more expensive in like, let's say like Massachusetts or California if you went to like MIT or Stanford, but you get what you pay for. Like you'll get like a bigger, you know, refrigerator size or something like that. I mean, you're at the very least you're in a city that has more like value per capita or something like that. You ultimately you get what you pay for. So I think that like the military kind of is a little too communistic about that. Like they're, and I don't want to use the term communistic too much because it sounds like political or so, like, I mean like I just think that it should be more of a flat rate, because like paying what someone needs to live, like it makes sense to up to a certain point, but then at the same time what I'm pointing out is you can't really expect that. You can't be like, okay, well I paid for XYZ, which is your food, shelter, and whatever else, and then expect that everything else is all fine and dandy, because it's, you know, it's not, you know, because I was barely getting by with enough refrigerator space and stuff like that, it seemed like. But at the same time, I can't blame anyone because, you know, a lot of those decisions were mine. A lot of them, you know, playing too much Minecraft was my idea. Buying the silver was my idea. Not eating as healthy as I could have been, not drinking, you know, a raw egg in the morning or something like smart like that. You know, that was my choice. So it's, you know, I can't really blame anyone for like being more in a tougher situation. It is still raining, so I'm hoping that my stuff isn't getting too wet. What else? So yeah, this is so cool because I can like sit up, I can lay flat. Like that, you have no idea what this means to me because my other car was dingy and I had to lay like kind of across the seatbelt things and they were poking me and like I couldn't lay flat. And so in here I like purposely made sure nothing gets my bed space. Nothing. Like I didn't even want to hang something up over here, but then I was like, you know what, I could hang a towel there or something. Not a big deal. I was selfish. I was like, I want this bed space and I'll put my other stuff over here, whatever, but I want my bed space to sleep in, and no one's gonna, none of my junk is gonna, you know, get into that. So yeah, I'm kind of wondering like what are my subscribers gonna think when they know that, okay, Tim doesn't have a lot of money right now or whatever. What is Tim doing? Like sleeping in his car, is everything like, is this weird? Like, is this okay? And I would just say, you know, it's just a stage where I'm at. So I'm in a transition period, hopefully, is what it really is. Hopefully, the reason why I say that, even though I've had so many jobs in the past, is because I had those jobs for school. And right now, my priority is more work than school. And so it's like the first time in my entire life, like I'm 28 years old, but it's like really the first time in my entire life, you know, it's getting really windy. How about I go get my shoes and pack up and finish this once and for all. It's the first time in my life where I finally actually get to work for like outside of being in school and outside of being in the military and outside of being like in that one place that I was at, which I haven't really talked about too much. I have no idea where my trash bags, I mean not trash bags, food bags are. I think they're in this bin. So yeah, I have some food in here, which my mom gave me some. She's like, you need to eat something to survive, and I was like, okay. So I should probably take a couple of those actually, and take a couple of these things, which are like survival foods or whatever. Which, I mean, I have a little bit of money to survive right now, so, but just in case, or just to make sure that I'm okay. And I'm gonna do my laundry like a couple times, so I'm about to take. I was gonna get a baggie for that, and I don't know what I'm doing. I'm looking for that bucket. Not sure where it went. So the thing is, I'm not sure what my boss or anyone else would think. I think my boss, though, he's so cool because he literally said, he's just like, about his research, he said, like, you got to do this or die trying. So he, like, if he ever came across this video and, like, saw it, hopefully he would think, like, oh, Tim is, like, you know, he's like, his mindset is to do this or die trying. So I was like, you know, hopefully he'd think that instead of wondering, like, why is this guy, you know, basically homeless, like, who did I hire here, you know? So, well, that's where I came from, the military, and then I went to school, and then for whatever reason, I probably didn't try hard enough to get internships, so I got less quality jobs, if you will, and because of that, I'm you know, older, and people probably wonder, like, why didn't you get a good job by now? And so the longer it takes for me to get like a really good job, the more weird it looks, you know, to people. They think like something like really wrong or something. Like, why should you be making a lot of money? Like, I had like 2 friends who said that. They're like, you know, you should be making tons of money in your field. You should be well off, all this stuff. And I'm like, yeah, you know, you're right. I probably should be, you know, but I've been investing all my time into, you know, just trying to either finish school or maybe, you know, a couple years past, you know, maybe playing too much of a video game or something, which is not good. But at the same time, kind of coming up with good ideas, and gonna lock this thing. So you guys are gonna see me lock my storage facility out in the middle of nowhere, in nowhere, USA. And hopefully I didn't lock my key. Good, I didn't lock my storage facility key inside the storage facility. That would be absolutely horrible. I think I'm gonna hide in my car right now and just sneak in. And I don't think I'm gonna stay, like, I think I'm gonna drive somewhere else tonight before I, you know, actually. But it is true, I am basically in the middle of nowhere, so it might be that no one would screw with me where I'm at right now. So yeah, let's close this up. And oh, that is not good. It is. Oh, ouch. Why does it leak? That is not cool at all. That is not cool. That just poured water in. You know what though? I don't think it's continuing to pour in. I think that water was kind of collected in a weird place between the window, but it did just pour all over the ground. So yeah, it's kind of looks more organized in here. It's probably pitch black for you guys right now, but I just kind of finished setting up my new home, hopefully, and this is it. I mean, this is it. I got some emergency food right here. I got my shoes. I got my, you know, some clothes, and I showed you that stuff already, and that's it. This is weird because it's kind of personal. It's kind of, I know it's weird. I know it seems a little weird, but it's worth it, you know. Here's a cool thing. Here's a cool fact. Did you know that Elon Musk, you know, the guy who made SpaceX and the guy who made the Boring Company, look that up. It's actually really cool. And the guy who made Tesla, and this one guy, the guy who he basically made PayPal actually. Before he like made PayPal, or made a company that I guess like PayPal bought, or I forgot what happened. Like he didn't actually make he didn't call the company that he made PayPal, but like they ended up using his technology or something like that. Before he did that, or while he was doing that, he was actually like broke. I think he was surviving off ramen, I think like ramen noodles and like bell peppers. You know what? I think I forgot my black shoes. I think. I'll have to go get them. I think I forgot them. Alright, well anyway. Thanks for watching. An interesting episode of whatever this is. This is not really, it's obviously not a calculator programming or a Minecraft video, but whatever. It's just kind of an update of Tim's life. But there we go, 25 minutes of just Tim talking about random stuff. See ya.
I no longer had to worry about heat pads, reflective blankets, or sleeping in the back of the Crown Victoria, which I couldn't even lay flat inside. I had a nice SUV to sleep in, and soon after that an apartment. I didn't have to survive on fast food, which was costly and unhealthy. My sister got me started watching The Office, so that show kept me going mentally during those times, especially since someone I became attached to had stopped communicating with me. Fortune cookies didn't give up on me either. I'd figured out showering at the gym, but my apartment provided a place to sleep, shower, and cook. Although it was expensive for my situation and caused its own hassles, I cooked a few times, like the cherry chicken shum. My job had some nearby restaurants, which were great for having lunch, especially with a coworker who I believe created the first decentralized blog. The K on the wall represented the K framework, which was the open source software the company was built on. I had a standing desk with a nice view, and until we moved floors, I had no idea I was working right next to an item elevator. And one time, when I really could use some dinner but I didn't have any, the college actually had one waiting there for me. That wasn't the only time that happened. I show a crown that I pulled out myself and found it to be getting infected. My boss helped me though, lending me money to get started. Okay. So what's the date today? It's November 3rd, and I found this this apartment basically, and it was unlocked, and now I'm like inside, and now it's locked, and no, I don't think anyone's here. Yeah, look at this. Oh my goodness. There's a bed in a bathroom and all this. So yeah, this is crazy. So I wonder if this is open. Nope, that's locked. So the back door is locked. Wow. So this is crazy. There was a key in the microwave right there. There's a key, like in the microwave. It's crazy. To the apartment. I wonder if that light. I don't know if that light works. So, you know, I don't. Does that light work? Maybe. It works. So this is like, this entire like apartment is just a simple 1-bedroom with an entire look at this. And you got like a hang up dresser and all this stuff. This is a new home for me because basically what happened was I was figuring out how to survive on my own in my car and figured out a way to get showers easily, and it was working. And then I figured out like this kind of warm, place I could sleep if I really wanted to, but it's kind of unconventional. It would be unknown what someone would think if I were to try to do that, and I don't know. It seems like it's easier to have a place to live because then your laundry, your shower, your bed, all that stuff is all in one place, where the air temperature and the air humidity is such that it's comfortable for you or me and all of my items and things that I own. So I have a shower that hopefully works, and I have a kitchen, and I should have. Do I not have a washer and dryer? I really hope that I have a washer and dryer. I really do. If I don't, I probably don't. Do I? I should have. I should. Oops. Great. That was one of the things that I wanted. Well, regardless, here I am. So, hopefully I can make some, videos like in here or somewhere, and I got my car out there, so my nice SUV. But yeah, this apartment seems nice. Hopefully everything works. I don't know, but I do kind of wish I had a washer dryer. If it doesn't, well, that's really just a weekly task anyway. And if I have the space for clothes, then it's not as big of a deal. The fact that I can put my clothes in this dresser makes it not that big of a deal. So anyway, maybe you guys remember the date of my last video. That was after I had already been homeless for a while and sleeping in a Crown Victoria. Mind you, there was one time where there was a storm in the middle of the night, and I drove out in the middle of like nowhere by cornfields, and there was just a storm, and it was just raining and pouring, and I was like, I need to take a shower somewhere, and there were some friends that were kind of like, why do you keep trying to take a shower at our place? So I ended up going out in the middle of the storm naked, kind of putting a little bit of soap on my armpits, and then kind of getting back up in my car and like hiding in there. So that was before the last recording that I had. The last recording was after I already got this SUV and after I already spent some time with my parents at their home and actually got this job, which I found out even pays more than I thought it did for my initial position, which is good because I like really need the income. But yeah, this job is really, really great. It's good. It's probably one of the best things that has happened to me. So hopefully we'll have a lot of adventures in here. There's not really too much lighting, it looks like, but I can add to that, I think, if I need to, because I like lighting, and even though lighting costs electricity, it's still, light, and light is a convenience. So if I'm going to pay for everything else, I might as well pay. Did I? Hopefully I didn't break that. Yes, I probably broke that. Okay, well, great. I'll just get a new outlet cover. But hopefully there will be some adventures in here. There's does the smoke detector work? I guess so. It beeped, so I think that works. I think that means that it works. Great, so now I set off the smoke detector to keep going. It's detecting... Huh. Oh, I'm not going to believe that it's detecting carbon monoxide because I pressed the button, so it's probably just testing itself. If it starts beeping by itself without me pressing the button, then we'll get concerned. So there we go. I don't know if the the stove isn't turning on. I don't think. Well, I don't know. It has a light setting. Well, I think it's okay though, because everything will work out, I'm sure. And I have a place where I can even set my lunch, which is really cool. And I have a place where I can like study and record, and have a place where I basically can like, invite people over and be like, hey, you want to be a visitor or something. That'll be fun. Let's see. This old lamp looks like it's pretty, it's like pretty old. It's made of like paper that's like ripping. And it's not plugged in. Probably just saves, make sure it's not using up electricity or something. But either way, it's okay. I'll just plug it in. Hopefully it works. There we go. So that's not too dark. That's pretty nice. Nice and bright. Brightness is the key. Brightness is the key. So we have enough light to use the shower. We have enough light to see outside. We have enough light to see in here. And all the lights work. That's cool. That's a good start. That's a good start. Microwave. Okay, there seems to be water for a couple seconds. I don't know if it... Good. Microwave works. Cool. Got some space to put stuff into cupboards. Oh, I need to turn on that light. There you go. Space in the cupboards. Old cupboards. There we go. There we go. Alright, this is pretty awesome. Not only did I get a job, but I'm also getting, because I don't have the money and I haven't had the income, I have a lot of debt and I gotta pay. Now I have like personal debts and not just like institution debts, but hopefully hopefully I can pay those off, and this income gonna come just right after I get approved for the VA's trying to help me out. So someone from the VA called me and wanted to make sure I got, a place to stay, and she was very kind and very helpful and did a whole bunch of paperwork and really nice and helpful. So I'm really thankful. I'm also thankful to the taxpayers because I didn't want to take any more money from taxpayers after being in the military, except for educational purposes. But I guess I am ultimately going to go back to, hopefully go back and finish my grad school, PhD, stuff like that. And that's kind of hopefully what this company is going to help me do, not just financially, but with all the connections and everything that I'm learning. It's amazing. It's just like the perfect, I can't reiterate how insanely perfect this job is. It's just insane. Like it doesn't make sense in my mind. Like if I wouldn't have gotten this job, I'd be I don't know, it's like, it's not just that it's the perfect job, but it's also that it's like I needed the job too. It's kind of weird. I don't even get it. Like how is the job that you want the most the one that you end up getting? I guess that's what happened, so yeah. So I'll probably sit here kind of on the couch here and do some calculator programming, maybe like on this little table right here or something. Who knows? Hopefully I don't break it just by pulling it. Yeah, kind of put my calculator right there or something, or computer, and I'll record. I don't even know if I have internet here. I might not. So it's I don't know if I'm gonna do like a coding series. If I do that, I could do it at some other locations. Anyway, that wouldn't be too big of a deal, I don't think. But yeah, I don't mind this place. It's not too bad, not too shabby. Not too shabby. Yeah, so go ahead and buy some Bitcoins and transfer them into Cardanos, and yeah. No, I don't know what's gonna happen. I can't tell you the future. But yeah. Let me know what you guys think. It's kind of interesting to be like on my own, but like outside of the military, and kind of like not like a full-time student type thing, and like not have roommates. Yeah, it'll be kind of interesting to see how this plays out. This furniture is like extremely old. It's awesome. It's like look at this. Look at this. It's awesome. It's like, yeah. It's okay though. It's all right. As long as it's cozy. As long as I can sleep. Yeah, something tells me there's no Ethernet in here. In fact, there's this old phone connector. So, yeah. And I think I can set temperatures here. I think. Hopefully that works. I don't know if that works very well. I don't know. Ooh, I hear it. I hear it. So I turned it up to 70. I don't know. I don't even know where the heater would be. Is it not accessible from the side of the apartment? Maybe not. Weird. I think I tested these lights earlier. Yeah. In this little
spot to hang some clothes. Yeah. So anyway, my lights turn on. You guys have fun. Hopefully I will add another video and with all my stuff moved in maybe, and post that like as like a third segment to this video, or I'll post this first and then maybe, I don't know. I'm thinking maybe I'll just move everything in and then post like one big video of like kind of the whole thing put together. So yeah, sounds good. And I might even go on Craigslist and show you guys my car that I'm selling, the Crown Vic, so you can see what I used to kind of be like living in for like a month. All right, so anyway, see you guys later. Have fun. Okay. You see that? You see that? Oh yeah. Remote start just in time for winter. Okay, you screen door. Come on. Come on. Stay. Come on. Come on. Stay. No way. Wait. Is it staying? I want it open more. Open more. No way! I got it to stay. Everything you see here was in my car, okay? Everything here. Even the smelly rotting banana at the bottom of this. Yes, that nasty smelling thing was in my car. I don't know, it wasn't starting to smell enough for me to know it was there, but yes. It was in my car. So were all these things here, and some clothes right here. More clothes right here. I need to hang up like these pants, you know, because I'm hanging up all my clothes here, and I had like a mattress thing here, and I had bedding on the mattress thing, and layers of, you know, protective. Do not ask me what is inside of these bottles. I will not answer that question. Don't ask me what is inside of those bottles, okay, please? And some electronics, maybe these like warmer things that make your body very, very warm. I think that's about it. I don't know of anything else really. Maybe like this towel, you know. But I don't have shower curtains, so I don't know what to do. But I'm really, really happy because I realized that I'm actually really close to the public library. Okay. I'll see you guys later, okay? Goodbye.
I found a few bugs and a fire extinguisher last inspected in 1988, a few months before I was conceived. I even used the sleep gear from my car at first. I moved in excited to start working. The Chili's plate was from when I visited my mom's, got a Veterans Day meal, and visited the restaurant where my sister works. And when I worked at the company, I worked in the room with the company logo, which was actually where the CEO worked. So it was pouring, like pouring rain, and I decided to go for a walk. I sort of settled in and cooked a few meals, and when Christmas time came around, I tried putting in hours, but ended up taking a couple weeks off after that, and I played some Stardew Valley.
I want you guys to guess what I'm holding in my left hand right now. I'm holding my phone in my right hand, that's what I'm recording with, but what am I holding in my left hand? What? What? Do you want me to put you down? You want me to put you down? Look at that. How am I balancing without even looking at her? This is crazy. My sister trained her well. It's been a while. What's the date? February 5th. Holy crap. Oh, there's a standing desk that I used, and then I didn't work for like a week and a half. Yeah, I think I'm gonna put this clip right here in the video where I'm like, I think months ago, I was like in my car talking about like how I was living in there, and then I was showing my apartment before I'd really like moved, like unpacked or something. So yeah, anyway, I got up, I haven't been doing this, but I got up at like 3:40 something in the morning, and then went to the gym and got breakfast because I'm trying to squeeze in 8 hours of work because I need the work done and I need the income right now, and I haven't been working much. I only did like 19 hours last week, and I desperately need the money, so I don't know what I'm thinking. I think I also played like 120 hours of Stardew Valley or something, just in not even a month's time. Jeez. Been working at this job. How do I even begin to explain my adventures of the last few months? I don't even know if I can. Right now, I would just want to point out something cool. My computer is doing some really cool stuff right now. I don't even know all that stuff that it's doing. I just know that it's basically setting up apt Linux libraries and basically had to run things inside of a container. It's called a container. And I've gone to lunch dozens and dozens of times with a coworker who, and we talked about, I would just talk all the time, just, oh, we should have decentralized, we should have an object-based storage system for operating system instead of files. I'm not going to try to explain else. Basically, it's a beautiful thing because I don't even know how the software that I'm testing completely. I generally know how it works, but I don't know specifically how it works. I'm not someone who's actually worked on it. And whatever that means. Anyway, I don't really know how it actually specifically works. I can't just fix it myself. I can't work on it myself. I don't know enough to work on it myself. Right now, I'd have to study for a long time and try to figure it out. And yeah, I don't even know also how this Linux operating system stuff is doing. I know the general idea. I know what it's kind of doing overall, but I don't know to the point where I can actually specifically work on it. But what's cool is that I'm using both of those things, and I'm playing a part in making something awesome. I mean, we're basically making the best verifier for
C, which I think is one of the most important programming languages. And I would say it's the best verifier because it's the only one that's like complete in the semantics. It's like based on semantics, but it's such a complete logic system that the programming language itself, literally like the set of strings that represent compilable programs, can be directly inferred from the mathematical logic that contains not just the syntax but all of the semantics. Everything that everything that the language is capable of is defined in this logic system. So you literally get the entire language of C and whatever other language you want to define in it's called the K framework. You get the entire language, not just the syntax. You get the entire everything the language does, everything that the language does, or what the everything that any tool that uses the language does can be basically generated from this definition. So it's not like a logic that you use to kind of reason about a program and say like, well, according to, Boolean logic or Hoare logic or whatever, this program should return, this result. And then you kind of like think that, and then you run the actual program and see what actually happens. No, this isn't that. This is literally, okay, this is our logic system. We're defining these like syntax and terms and semantics, and this is the language itself. We're actually defining the actual language, so you don't just guess what should happen when you run the language as a separate thing. You're actually, it's all one thing. What you prove is literally the same thing as what happens. So it's really cool. It's like, and it's the correct thing. Like, I knew when I watched the video, when I watched my professor, my boss, explain this, I knew it was spot on. He knew exactly, I want to say he knew exactly what like he was talking about, or I just understood that what he was talking about was like spot on. Like it's a really solid. But in the same way, I also have an idea about how I think parsing and operating in tree structures should represent data instead of flat structures, and that's kind of, in my opinion, also just as important. I haven't created anything or wrote any technical papers to kind of embody this or show this, but I'll give you guys a view of outside instead of just my face. But and that's my screensaver, by the way, Electric Sheep. But basically, think about it this way. Running everything in a container is a pretty complicated task. Like, running a virtual machine seems to be a complicated thing. But imagine if every single folder in your computer had all the positive properties of a virtual machine. Like, every folder, imagine every single folder, like if you just go up one folder or go down one folder, that folder is contained, isolated. You can run something in there and it's not going to leak anything. Nothing's going to affect it. How do I even explain this? Imagine not ever having to worry about, not just like, okay, the null thing is like a type error thing, but I'm talking syntax, parsing, ambiguity, ever having to worry about security issues because you did something to parse like an XML. Like, never having to worry about that. Why? Because it would never be an issue if you never had to parse. it. Anyway, I'm rambling. You can't assume that I'm saying anything but just a whole bunch of hot air until I have something to show. So I'll probably try to have something more to show than just my app before I try to like publish this or something, or maybe I'll add more to the video before I continue. Anyway, gotta go. So I'm here in a special office, and I don't just mean that room, I mean this entire place up here. This is a special office, and it's because there's a company that's about to move in here. You can see from here, you can see pretty far out. Pretty far. And yeah. All this space in here, look at that. That's only like half of it. Here's even more. More. Wow. Now that's what you call a corner office. Today is Monday, April 16th. Nice view. Nice place to work. So it's March 29th, 2018. There's a innovation thing put on by University of Illinois Research and Companies in town, at Parkland location. Just in case we succeed, these are some of the companies. And I read on the website, they said something about there's an award for, one of them is making an impact, a change in society with your technology. And the other one was basically despite your disability, or through your disability, you still, there's an award for like basically doing, like, helping with research or making an impact or something, you know. So, and of course, I don't know how I feel about that. There's a lot of really cool, I'm not gonna lie, there's a lot of really good, really interesting research done at the university. But our group is wanting to basically take it even further and look at the correct way to do something, the way we believe we should. I guess really it's just my idea, and met some random people that God himself had to have brought together, and so if we make a whole new operating system, programming language, all of those ideas kind of put together in one, so, and I'm extremely stressed today because I've been dealing with a painful tooth and got rejected by 2 different dentists to pull it out when I needed it to pull out, and found out that the crown was had this nasty infection or something going on right underneath of it that you couldn't see in the x-rays, and now I got a stub back there, and it's really frustrating because I'm sitting, I'll sit by a dentist and know that I'm right, and it's watch, I will a few months will go by and I will basically prove that you've wasted my time and money and you've mistreated me. So that's basically what happened. I'm still waiting for everything to be collected to put together, and I feel like reporting these people because it's so low, it's so broken, it's beyond description how difficult it is to deal with this type of stuff. The way Westerners think is not correct. They try to construct things and only base their actions, such as doing a tooth extraction or something like that, on what they can constructively prove rather than what's more likely to be true. Following your instinct. I've always been I've been told. I was in Trinidad and I was told if I ate the mangoes there I would get sick, and I knew my instinct told me no, I won't get sick. So use statistics in your logic. Don't assume some statement. For example, don't assume, oh, God doesn't exist, but if somebody proves that he does, then I'll change my mind. No. Don't assume either statement just because one of them has a not in it, or one of them is the negate. And then go with what's more likely to be true, not picking one and then just changing your mind if you're proven false. That's not the right way to do it. But that's how people think for some reason. I don't know why, because I've always had success in how I've thought, and I've tried to tell other people how to think, and they still don't want to listen. So, and then I'll get a comment oh, science isn't for everyone, Okay, we'll see about that. So feel bad for the world having to deal with these common folk who just care about making income, and they don't care about researching and doing their best. And that's the epitome. That's what Jesus. That's what Jesus's life screamed of, was just giving, doing your best. And he was saying like, look, if we all just did this, everything would be different. And neurologically, I'm not doing well. Health-wise, I'm not doing well. Financially, I'm not doing well. Getting my class done, I'm not doing well. So, yeah, they're about to start this thing pretty soon, and I'm curious. I'm probably not going to participate, but I'm curious as to what they're actually going to talk about and stuff. So I don't know if I'm going to try to listen in or whatever. I told my Japanese teacher, I'm like, look, I'm probably just going to get like a 20% on my test. I'm not ready for it at all. And he still wants me to, well, when I told him I thought I just wouldn't do well, he said not to give up. So, because how else would I know what to do if I didn't try? I think was his reasoning. So, this Parkland College, it's like a nice, cozy place. Pretty nice college. It's all like one big campus that you have to find your way around. It's really hard. It's confusing to get around. I think it's funny that I'm trying to make like the next thing after like Linus Torvalds, and yet I disagree with like most of his quotes. He says things like, when theory and practice come together, practice always wins. And I'm like, what? No, theory always wins. Oh my goodness. I'm referring to like a very common misunderstanding in like terminology when it comes to like formal mathematics. Where the term theory kind of means like an actual solid theorem that is not disproven, but it might be shown to be representative of reality or not. So the idea is that the math itself is expected to be, you know, just correctly done in general. And you kind of classify it as, instead of correct or incorrect, it's more, well, let's just only look at the correct things because it's kind of easy to check with our definitions of what correct means, and then classify things rather as interesting or not interesting, because you can basically generate whatever mathematical, you know, expressions or proofs that you want out of a grammar. So out of that set of, you know, huge number of possible, you know, formulas or whatever, like, and you can restrict them to have whatever properties like that you want, which ones are interesting. So anyway, I'll come up with a practical example, that way I can show Mr. Torvalds, our hero, why I think he's actually wrong there. But it's kind of exciting to think about making a whole new old for computing. Because, I mean, I'm 28 years old, and it took me till now to actually realize, like, that this is possible. It took me a while to realize how people think, how people work, how companies kind of work. I had my suspicions, but it wasn't until I actually worked for a company and saw people that I kind of realized, I kind of inferred what was going on. You know, I don't know everything. I don't know, you know, everything about, you know, maybe secret government agencies or whatever, or, you know, what they're doing at Google in every office, but there's only so much that is publicly kind of known, and so my guess is there's only so much privately known as well. And it's cold. So the conclusion is, I have come up with an idea that uses basically a logic system from a mathematician in France, and it essentially organizes your coding space, if you will, to do what you need to do, if that makes any sense. If I explain the entire design of what I have planned out, it would be similar in complexity to like explaining maybe like Bitcoin or something, because there's a couple meta levels of functionality going on. But essentially, the idea of writing code where you don't have to repeat yourself is basically solved. The idea of using, a lot of people talk about, you know, using Haskell IO monads, and people are like, well, it sounds like it somehow magically works. So it kind of solves the idea of giving you it kind of generalizes the ideas there as well. We'll have security problem solved. Parsing and unparsing is not really an issue, so their complexities are not, they don't really it doesn't matter. What else? Formal semantics is only a thing. So the company that I'm associated with now, there's not going to be overlap, because they're kind of focused on that specific fundamental idea out of a set of like multiple fundamental ideas that I have in my mind. And so they're basically going through and they're kind of cleaning up things that exist already. And in my mind, it's like, okay, this, I'm thinking more kind of in the future, more kind of crazy, and kind of just disjoint. So there's not really any kind of overlap there. So it seems like that kind of works out pretty well. When somebody comes up to you and tells you that God led them to essentially help you, then it kind of makes you think like, okay, what, this is something big is going on. So I don't really know. Earlier this week, I actually like messaged some people, and I kind of just to see if it would get them interested, like trying to do something. I basically gave them some orders, if you will. Told them like, hey, try doing this and this by, you know, next week. And they probably had no idea what I was talking about, but it would still get them to
ask questions and then maybe get some kind of ball rolling. I feel like I only have, when I put everything together, I don't have everything figured out, and when I put everything together, I only like, I half wonder if this is real, and I half wonder if it's just completely and utterly ridiculous attempt at, you know, something that's just gonna fail and make no sense at all because I missed something. I mean, I've tried to, for example, I've tried to like prove the Collatz conjecture, and I made like a mistake that I overlooked for a while and then thought I was getting somewhere. So who knows if I completely kind of overlooked something. And I'm not actually doing something that cool after all, so we'll see. Yeah, I feel like I'm just, this is crazy, like this is just kind of ridiculous, but it's fun, I guess. Even if it is, like, it's a good way to learn it, I guess, if anything. So, yeah, that's 20 minutes, which is a long time, so I'm going to stop recording here, and maybe talk to you guys again. Bye. I did not continue working at the company after my 6 months of internship. So I have a few random pictures in here from more recently, like Candy getting stuck in a vending machine, some art, the St. Louis Arch, and this elevator poster that I had to look at for my birthday. That's cool. It's not. I made some friends traveling and argued with people about their fields of work. My Minecraft friend who likes to make offensive pixel art and I sort of became non-friends at some point. I had to send mail from a box far, far away. I've explored around a little, seeing these ships and eating at this restaurant in Louisiana. Wow.
Parking is full, guys. But there's this parking spot right there. And there's kids playing. Kid play.
You gotta see the view from way up here.
Baby, I wanna go down.
side, on this other side. Got live music.
So I just sit down here, have another beer in Mexico or Princeton. Do my best, waste another day. Sit down here, have another beer in Mexico. There's a woman help me through the way. Down in Mexico.
It's funny because I tried to get so many people to come here at this little, it's like a little wine tasting place on the top of a hill, and it's just like a place to go, and people made it a big deal. They're like, I gotta get dressed up, or I gotta cost money. Oh, I don't want to get drunk. I don't want to. It's like, you don't have to drink anything. It's just like and it's like around the block. It's not even like a mile, like a mile away. Wow. I gotta show you how cute it is inside though. I already showed the view in the other video, the views. But you also have the views here. Playing live music here. Up here you can see basically all the way to Illinois from here. I should make them a little advertisement video or something, because of course they live next to a trash plant, but that's gonna get all covered over, and they'll make that into like a golf course or something. But I guess you can see Illinois all the way from here, so yep. Anyway, go inside and show you the cute little bathroom they got.
Oh, and I think I'm going to be putting up a website, and I would love to get some feedback on it. I do want to have some kind of space that I'm in control of, that I can manage. It doesn't have to be like, you know, that advertising perfect, you know, for our modern world, because it's just something that I want to manage first. And then, ooh, there we go. This one's a little more high-tech, isn't it? But I can make a page for that, something that's a little more flashy, a little more simplified down, because there are business opportunities that I want to be taking advantage of. So, but I do want like a space, a website, something where I can share things that I'm interested in, even if it does break all the advertising rules, like, oh, you know, a blog that's more than 2 years old or something like that. Anyway. See you guys later.
I think we're in Houston.